everyone. Welcome to the August 2020 edition of Readings, now brought to you online. What a shock. For those of you who have not been paying attention, shame on you. The last few editions of Readings have been presented this way, virtually. And aren't we all sick of it? Aren't we sick of all these online events, these webinars and Zoom and so on? This is recorded by Zoom, by the way. But what to do? It's probably safer to do it this way, even though we would rather just go out and meet people, like nature intended. Yeah. So initially I was reluctant to do this, but Sharon Bakar can be very persuasive, and she made me an offer I couldn't refuse. So here we are. And as instructed, I've assembled 5 people to take part. And unfortunately, I think I made a mistake because those of you who have been to the regular readings will know that each reader is allotted 10 minutes. But many sort of try and exceed that because they feel that it's worth their while to squeeze every bit of attention they can get. Because writers, they rarely get attention. So when when given the spotlight, such as it is, they will try and milk it for all it's worth. So that was the initial idea of getting 5 people. And I assume most would, you know, take up 10 minutes or very close to 10 minutes. But I was shocked that a few had very brief running times. So this will be a very short readings actually, because some of them are not even 5 minutes long. I don't know why. So maybe this is why I feel I have to talk a bit more to make up the running time. Otherwise, it'll be like a sitcom episode. So our first reader won't be reading at all, actually. He will be performing. He's a mime artist. And his name is Sifa. He's from Project Rabak, which is in Perak. But now he's not in Perak. He's in somewhere else. He's in Hiroshima, of all places, doing a kind of a PhD, I think. Yeah, well, yeah, it is a PhD. It's not a kind of PhD. It's a real PhD in Hiroshima University. Yeah. I'm just reading from his bio here. I'm trying not to read people's bios word for word because his bio is perfectly fine, but sometimes writers' bios also, they tend to go on, and they tend to list too many accomplishments that we don't give a shit about, really. I mean, we don't care what awards you won in secondary school and things like that. So I think it's once again manifestation of the fact that writers don't get much attention. So when you ask them for their bios, some of them just list all kinds of things to make up for this sense of insecurity or whatever it is that they have inside. So yeah, but I'm not saying this is true of any of the 5 people here though. Not necessarily, I'm just talking in general. So bios should be succinct. Just tell us who you are and what you're doing now, and what you plan to do. Cukup lah, you know. Don't have to ramble on and on. So yeah. So without further ado, we will present Sifa. I have not seen any of these performances or readings yet, so I'll be watching them in real time after I introduce them. So take it away, Sifa.
Konnichiwa, Saijo. Apa khabar kau hari ini? Natsu dah datang. Dan panasnya macam setiap tahun boleh bikin menyirap. Tapi lagi menyirap sebab coronasetan ni masih belum mampus lagi. Kurang 4 bulan lagi untuk COVID-19 ni raikan ulang tahun pertamanya. Waktu-waktu macam ni aku lega yang aku pilih hang jadi kawan aku sebelum datang ke Jepun. Waktu tu sama ada kau atau Osaka. Aku tak suka Osaka. Aku budak pekan kecil. Aku tak suka bandar-bandar besar, serabut. Dan boleh bikin aku lebih tak fokus pada benda yang aku patut buat. Belajar. Macam mana entah kau nak sambut Sake Matsuri tahun ni ya, Saijo? Entah ada atau tidak pengunjung mabuk tersadai di tepi Ekimai akibat terlebih minum sampel setiap booth yang diorang pergi. Dengar khabar Tokyo dan Osaka tengah berperang dengan COVID-19. Buat aku rasa nak peluk kau dengan lebih erat, Saijo. Walaupun kena serang dengan indigestion dan anxiety, aku sentiasa tenang melihat bendang-bendang yang kau bentangkan depan mataku. Kau penuh maaf, Saijo. Tak macam Tokyo dan bandar-bandar besar lain. Setiap kesilapan adalah malapetaka dari segi duit dan kederat. Aku tak mampu nak hadap semua tu kalau dugaan datang. Jadi aku harap dapat berteduh untuk beberapa ketika lagi. Meminjam setiap denai-denai lorong tikus untuk sembunyi dari ketakutan aku sendiri. Berada di daerah Hang Saijo buat aku dekat. Buat aku dekat dengan Teluk Intan dan segala kenangannya. Walaupun ada ketikanya kau dingin tak seperti bahang Teluk Intan, tapi bendang-bendang kau setenang bendang-bendang yang ada sepanjang kampung-kampung sekitar Sungai Manik, Cenderung Balai, Sungai Kerawai dan Kampung Bahagia. Natsu Hang barangkali mengingatkan aku pada bahang tengah hari dekat Teluk Intan. Tapi yang paling celakanya, tanpa mesin pendingin hawa, aku tak akan dapat tidur nyenyak setiap malam gelap menyirap. Aku cuma perlu bertahan seketika sementara menunggu Aki untuk melihat daun-daun momiji menjadi perang dan berguguran dekat lantai jalanan. Dan selepas daun-daun ni menyapu jalan, ia akan kembali ke ruang sejuk Fuyu. Serta imej ranting-ranting botak menahan sejuk dan salji. Dekat tanah Hang Saijo, kau sentiasa buat aku teringat tentang kitaran hidup yang sentiasa datang dan pergi menurut waktunya. Tak pernah tersilap, tak pernah terlewat. Dan macam itulah setiap generasi yang hidup dan pergi. Mungkin tak sama macam dekat Teluk Intan. Ruang yang buat aku selesa berada meski melawan panas tengah harinya bukan hal yang mudah kadang-kadang. Dalam putaran ini aku terus menunggu dan menunggu. Habisnya malapetaka celaka CORONASETAN dan semoga perjalanan sang isteri yang mudah-mudahan dipermudahkan Tuhan. Saijo. 毎日お楽しみしてございます。以上です。
Okay, thank you, Sifa. Yes, as you can see, the performance was kind of a tribute to the town he is in now, called Saijo, and with references to the places he's more familiar with in Malaysia, small town places, similarly small town places. I wanted to start with a mime to show that silence can be eloquent. And it sure is, even when it has voiceover, in this case. And so I invited Sefa, who is the only mime artist I know, because let's face it, how many mime artists would you need to know in your lifetime? I mean, one is enough. So that's why I invited him. And it's great that he's doing his PhD in, I think something like performance art. that he is given this kind of opportunity. I assume it's some kind of scholarship. So it's good, squeeze any scholarship opportunities you can get. And it's nice that the younger generation now doesn't feel the need to follow the usual traditional paths that the rest of us did back in our youth, which is why there are now too many lawyers who are writers. There's just too many of them. And this leads nicely this leads nicely to the next the next reader. She's a former lawyer as well, I think. Actually, it's not mentioned in her bio, but for some reason, I think Heidi Shamsuddin used to be a lawyer. Unless I'm mistaking her for someone else, in which case, my apologies. But now she's better known as a writer for children and adults. There's an animated short film written by her called Batik Girl that is online. So you do check it out, it's beautiful. And she's also published many books with Oyez publishers, and MPH and so on. So disclaimer, standard disclaimer, the book she is about to discuss in this video is a book I published. So yes, I'm making use of readings to help sell a few copies. Sorry, but that's how we do things. The book is called The Malay Tale of the Pig King. It is, I think she will explain more about it, because she did say that she didn't want to just read a children's book, because the book has not many words. So if I think you can read all the words in like 10 minutes, but you will need more time to look at the illustrations and to appreciate them and so on. So take it away, Heidi.
Hi everyone, I'm Heidi. I hope you're all keeping well and safe. Thank you for inviting me today to read from my new book, The Malay Tale of the Pig King. Over the years, I've slowly become obsessed with Malaysian and Nusantara folk tales, fairy tales, epics, and myths. So when Amir Muhammad had a call out for a writer to adapt Hikayat Raja Babi into a children's illustrated book, I jumped at it, and this is the result. An English version of a Malay tale. The cover is stunning, isn't it? I think like all good picture books, it's all down to the artwork and the illustrations. And for this, I have my friend Evie Shalvia, who is an Indonesian illustrator and artist, to thank for. So this is a collaborative project between myself and Evie. So thank you, Evie. Now I know this is a reading and I'm supposed to be reading from this picture book, but it is a picture book, it's short and sweet, and I don't want to spoil the ending for you. So what I'm going to do is have a chat to you about the context of Hikayat Raja Babi, how it came about, and a bit of the story. So Hikayat Raja Babi is unusual because it has an identifiable author, a guy called Yusuf Abdul Kadir, who was a Javanese merchant. It's also a different kind of book because it was not commissioned by the palace. It was basically written by this guy who was on a business trip between Semarang and Palembang somewhere around 1775. And in my mind, I think he was just kind of bored and decided to write a story about a prince who was born in the body of a pig, because why not? It sounds quite riveting, doesn't it? So he starts off by introducing an all-powerful king who lives in a place called Rantau Panjang Tebing Beukir, which is supposedly on top of or by the side of a volcano, which doesn't actually make sense, but again, it sounds cool, it sounds epic. So this king decides one day that he wants a son to take over his kingdom one day. So he tells his prime minister, please go find me a wife who can bear me a son. So the PM goes off and brings back 41 candidates, princesses from all around the region. And the king decides, instead of marrying just one princess, he marries all 41 of them, thinking, why not? That will probably increase his chances of getting a son, right? Wrong. What happens is no one bears him a son. However, one day, by some miracle, one of his wives, the very lovely Putri Indrasuri, finally becomes pregnant. The king is overjoyed and says to his other 40 wives, okay, I don't need you lot, I'm going to send you back home. Naturally, that's when all the trouble begins. You know, you have 40 angry wives on your tail. They get together and they curse the guy. They say, may your son be born a pig, a forbidden animal. And the curse comes true. His poor wife is pregnant for 7 long years, which, as an aside, is, to me, is probably a worse curse than being born a pig. And when the baby is born, he has the body of a pig and the body and face of a pig. Not only that, this little baby pig, jumps up, leaps up in the air, he bows gracefully to everyone, and he starts to recite a pantun. He says, ambil kundi, parangkan kandis, gulai belanak, buang siripnya. Ayuh, bunda, jangan menangis, anak dibawa, untung nasibnya. So this is one charming pig, and the palace people are quite taken by him, but at the same time they're maybe slightly repulsed because this is a pig, this is a babi, a haram animal. So the king's advisor says, no, we can't keep it, he has to be banished. But the little pig king gets up and he goes on his merry way. He tells people, no worries, I'll go away, I'll find a way to break the curse, just you wait and see. What a fantastic beginning. So for the longest time, the original manuscript for Hikayat Raja Babi, which was originally in Jawi, it was kept at the British Library until round about, I think it was 2015, when Fiksi Retro had it transliterated from Jawi to Rumi by a writer called Arshad Mokhtar, who did a great job of transliterating this manuscript. There was no adaptation done. It was a strict translation, which, when it was time for me to adapt it into a children's book, made it quite difficult because it was in old Malay and the language was very archaic. The terminology, they used terminology which we don't use anymore. And B, there were so many awesome scenes in this book to choose from. This is the copy of that book. It's got great illustrations as well. So how I did it was basically to choose the most visually appealing scenes so that the illustrator will have something exciting to work with. And I tried to dig down under the story to really find its core. And I hope I managed to adapt it and write it in a way that is pleasing to everyone. So now I am going to read the introduction of this book, The Malay Tale of the Pig King. I hope you'll enjoy the story. The Malay Tale of the Pig King by Yusuf Abdul Qadir, retold by Heidi Shamsuddin and illustrated by Evie Shelvia. Once there lived a king and queen who longed for a child. The king did all he could and even married 40 other wives, but no baby was born to him. However, one day the queen discovered that she was finally going to have a child. The king was so happy that he sent all his other 40 wives away, and that was how the trouble began. The angry wives cursed the king, and when his son was born, he did not look like a baby at all. He had long, sharp tusks the color of ripe bananas, a curly tail which waved in the air, and the body and face of a pig. The little pig king stood up and bowed gracefully to his parents. He smiled, and everyone thought he looked handsome and fine. To everyone's surprise, the pig king began to speak. My name is Raja Indra Brahmakala. As you can see, I have been cursed to be born as a pig, a forbidden animal. The Pig King knew that he would have to prove himself worthy in order to break the curse, but this did not upset him. With a wave of his curly tail, he left the palace to find his way in the world. I'll stop here, and if you want to know how it ends, go and buy the book, please. Please support us so that we can make more books like this. Thank you again for inviting me to speak to you, to read from you. Goodbye.
So, thank you, Heidi. Take a bow, take a bow. In case you are wondering about her bookshelf, which probably none of you are wondering, but I'll tell you anyway. Her bookshelf was made by the same contractor as my bookshelf behind me here. This is a real bookshelf. It is not a Zoom background. And because earlier this year, I was thinking that I needed a nice big bookshelf. And she was the one who recommended this contractor. So I think we're both quite happy with our respective bookshelves. So if you would like the contractor's phone number, let me know. I will provide it. So the Malay Tale of the Pig King, which she was talking about, is published by me, Matahari Books, and it is on sale now at Shopee. So you better rush out and get it online. Yeah. So now that I've promoted something I published, I feel I should be fair and promote something someone else published as well. So this is a journal called Svara. It's a quarterly journal. So the third issue is now out, and you may get it at several places, like Kinokuniya. And by coincidence, total coincidence, I have an article in the current issue. There I am in the middle. It's not really an article. Maybe it's like a opinion kind of thing. Yeah. So yeah, so I'm quite happy to be in Svara because it's a journal started by some serious young people. So when I was told to write for it, I was a bit reluctant because I'm not that serious actually. So I emailed this article to them, or this opinion piece to them, and they didn't reply. So I thought, oh, maybe they don't like it. But they're too polite to say it because I'm, older than them. So for a few days, I was a bit like, oh no, maybe they hate it. So what would I do? What should I do, rather? So, and then I thought of something quite brilliant. I asked the managing editor, hey, do you want me to buy an ad? Because I have a movie coming out. I want to buy an ad in Semarang. Then he said, yeah, sure, fine. How much does it cost? And he told me, I said, yeah, sure. So he sent an invoice and we paid. So that's why the back page of Svara is an ad for my movie. So after paying for the ad, surprisingly enough, the article was just printed. I don't think it's bribery. It's just how things are done. So yeah, that's it. That's how it's done. So yes, our next performer, I've only met her once actually at an audition. She is a actress and a model, and she was Malaysia's representative in Asia's Next Top Model. And her name is Sharita Selvaraj. And I'm reading her I'm reading her bio. I'm reading her bio now, and I'm shocked to discover that she graduated in law from University of Hertfordshire. So another lawyer, or former lawyer who has now found a better thing to do with her life. I'm a former lawyer as well, so that's why I have the right to say these things. So yes, so Sharita, what she will present is it's a monologue that she devised herself based on a character in an upcoming movie. So I think it counts. I mean, she's not like writing, she's not like performing someone else's words. It's her own words. And So and how she interprets this character in this movie. So it's quite short as well. So take it away, Sharita.
Hi, this is a scene I crafted for the character Yasmin. Hi. Maaf saya ganggu ke? Macam tengah meeting je. Meeting bincang apa ya? Oh, saya faham. You're talking about Daryl, right? Kamu semua nak tinggalkan dia, kan? Betul tak? Tak apa. Tak payah jawab. I tak kisah apa keputusan you all. I am not leaving my brother. Seluruh hidup I, tak pernah ada seorang pun yang yakin I boleh jadi seorang pelukis. Family I halau I dari rumah. Hanya Daryl seorang saja yang. He was the only one who believed in me. Bila I kehabisan wang, tak ada kerja, tak ada katil untuk tidur pun, Daryl yang pujuk ibu bapa I. Kerana dia, family I terima I balik. Kerana dia, I tak give up on my dreams. Dan sekarang, I'm not giving up on him. And scene? Thank you for watching.
Okay, thank you, Sharita. Mark my words, you heard it here first. Sharita Selvaraj will be the next Sangeeta Krishnasamy. Yeah, so we wish her all the best in her future acting roles. Behind me, there is a creature there named Panda. Not a very imaginative name because that's what it is. And Panda has been with me since I was 2 years old. So it's the oldest creature that I know. And this is a kind of an odd segue for the next reader, whose name is Jamie Zubairi. And I've known him almost as long as Panda because I've known him since primary school. And when we were in primary school, we did something which I shall reveal now for the first time. We wrote a murder mystery in an exercise book. I don't think it was a very long book because, we were in primary school. And for some reason, the murder mystery took place in a ski resort, which neither of us had been to. I think it's a sign of a colonized imagination. It may have been based on some miniseries on TV at that time. So yeah, I have no copy of this early novella. And I hope Jamie does not have a copy either because it would be quite embarrassing. But Jamie now lives in London and he is an actor and playwright and a poet. He has written 3 plays and the 4th is coming soon. I have not seen any because I don't live in London. And as an actor, he has appeared in many TV series, including EastEnders. And but the thing I would like to highlight here is that he is the voice of Waze Malaysia. So if you use Waze while you're driving, Waze is one of the most useful things to have come out of Israel recently, and so it's his voice. So yeah, I think that's a highlight. I don't know if he considers it a highlight of his career, but to me it's like a highlight to be the voice of Waze. So all the way from London, I invited him to share a few things he wrote, and he has shared some poems, I think. So we will watch them together. So take it away, Jamie.
Hello, I'm Jamie Zubairi. I'm an actor, a writer, playwright, poet, painter, photographer. That's a lot of P's. And I am Anglo-Malay, I guess. I live in London. I lived in Malaysia for 16 years of my life, and I know Amir through my school, my primary school and my secondary school, and I've been living in London since 1994. I moved to London, but I moved to England in 1998, so it's nice to be in touch. And I've been asked to do some readings of poems or things that I've performed. So I'm going to read you the most recent anthology collection. It's a collection of stuff that I've written since April. It takes time to find out who you're meant to be, to find out who you like, who you fit, who fits you. I am a list to listen to. I am Zubi. I am Jamie. I'm never James. It's not my name. It's not my name. I am British. I am Malaysian. I'm English. I'm Malay. I am creative. I am immovable. I am sprightly. I'm tethered. I am damaged. I am healing. I am word. I am sound. I am a line. I am colour. I am too much. I am minimal. I am my street. I am the world. I am bigger than this. I am so petty. I am hungry for it. I hold myself back. I know I hold the gold. I am sparks of mercury. I am stuck in the mud. I am selfish. I am giving. I say too much. I am in the clues. I make sense. I am more sublime. I am clunky. I am guilty for being well. I am narcissistic. I am humble. I am sold short. I curl up. I'm at rock bottom. I am bored of this. I had enough. I am silent. I was raped. I am fine. I am fine. I relive the shame. I am free of pain. I am enough. I am the pause. I am the breath. I am movement. I am dance. I am 1,000 years of migration. I am seeing it from here. I am feminine energy. I am traits of masculine. I am always in between. I am constantly in love with new men from afar. I am constantly out of love with myself. I am wondering if this is it. I know there is more. I am growing. I am breathing into spaces in myself. I am trying not to be so easily shaken. I am hearing the extraordinary rhythm. I am in and out of time. I am at times in and out of step. I am the clash of gamelan gongs. I am the crash of guitar chords. I follow the path less trod from the comfort of hindsight. I create out of seemingly nothing a golden seam of 1,000 profundities and delights. I am intimately aware of how unfriendly I am. I am always uncovering my own truth. I am always discovering which is a lie. I am frighteningly brave. I am comically coward. I am aware of my privilege. I am aware of my lack. I am a product of my history. I am in control of my now. I am all you want me to be, as long as it's within me. I am all of those people. I am only myself. I am only one. I am only one. I won. I'm winning. The next poem is one I wrote for my bicycle, because during lockdown I bought myself a bicycle so I could get some exercise, you know, find the cold, you know, because I'd never been to the Thames, even though it's like that way, about a mile away. But yeah, It's quite hard to navigate the back streets and the side estates of this place. I didn't get lost today. I didn't panic. All I could do was pedal, move forward, take in the view, the tankers, the cruisers, the gulls, coming up to London this far. No seals, though. Unlucky. But the sun clears, the clouds soften, and the whir of my wheels as my companion, the dark railings bordering to my right, the concrete buttress to my left stops the land yearning into the sea. I stop, post-like, and watch. The blank sheet of river and sky, punctuated like a pianola roll by gulls and boats and wading birds in arpeggios, skittering. And finally, this is one about the pandemic. It's called When This Is Over. When this is over, when the numbers have fallen, when we can give our neighbours a hug, when we can kiss our grandparents on both cheeks like they do in Rome, when we can whisper to our parents and our children, "I love you," in their ear. When the sound of children playing is coming from the schoolyard. When my neighbour in her blue uniform can finally smile. Someone baked her a cake last week. I made her a curry and felt bad that she had her pudding before her main. When this is over, I'll know her name. When this is over, can you imagine the celebration of simple things? The party in the street, rejoicing in holding hands, standing side by side. The festival we will have after stockpiling love, hoarding kisses and hamstering embraces, and dancing like no one is watching, in full sight. Thank you for listening. Have a great week.
Thank you, Jamie, for the poems. They were beautiful. Thank you. Thank you once again for joining us. Next, not even next, finally, our final performance. Things are so fast. We're almost at the end. Our final performance came about when I asked Shiko Reto. I know her as Shiko Reto, but apparently now she has changed her name to Shika Nova. So things change very fast in this world. So I asked Shiko if she could sing a song for us. And she said, yeah, but could she also do it in a band? She has a 3-piece band. So I said, oh yeah, even better, because I asked for 1 and then I get 3. So it's like buy 1, free 2, right? And I'm afraid there was a slight misunderstanding at the beginning. I didn't mislead anybody. I was honest. I said, would you like to join this month's readings? But for some reason, she thought I meant the Reading Festival in the UK. And so that had to be clarified that, it's not Reading, it's readings. And why would anyone want to join Reading when they can join readings anyway? Because Reading, I'm sure they have a lot of sponsors and grants or whatever over the years. Whereas readings is an entirely independent event that has gone on for 15 years, I think. So yeah, it embodies the spirit of Merdeka. See, I finally found a way of bringing Merdeka into the theme of this episode. So I will read the bio of Ting Tong Cats, and they also embody the spirit of Merdeka. Ting Tong Cats is a 3-piece queer band based in KL, with Shika as lead vocalist and guitarist, bassist Gemma, and drummer Yun. Ting Tong Cats' music mainly revolve around Shika's experience as a trans woman, Malaysian politics, and also popular parenting advice, such as minimizing time spent on the internet. Ting Tong Cats has released an EP of 5 songs in May 2018 and a full album of 12 tracks called Enjoy the Monsoon in October 2018, which are available at their Bandcamp. I'm not sure if all the songs are available on their Spotify playlist, so I will find out later. And they have a Finnish-inspired track titled Ravintola, based on the lead vocalist's personal experience of living in Finland and dating Finnish men. And the song they're about to sing is called Berubah, which means, I mean, you know what it means. Berubah means change, and which speaks of local society's refusal to accept the LGBT community, including trans people, and to force their return to the righteous path of gender-conforming roles. Ting Tong Cats actively performs gigs in KL, and they performed in Singapore as well. So international, bertaraf antarabangsa gitu. And I don't know if their gigs are actively going now with our current recovery phase, but they sound like they'll be a lot of fun to listen to live. So without further ado, I will present a very playful and casual rendition of the song Berubah by Ting Tong Cats.
Hello. We are the Ting Tong Cats. My name is Shika.
I'm Yoon.
I'm Gemma.
Okay, shoot.
1, 2, 3, 4. Sekian dari kami, Ting Tong Cats. Okay.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Ting Tong Cats, for showing us that you can perform magic with household implements only, and a lot of heart, of course, which is what they have. Thank you for joining us at this month's edition of Readings, online, of course, in case you forgot. In case you think we're in Bangsa, we're not. You're just in front of your computer screen. I would like to end with the final poem from Pantun from Hikayat Raja Babi, because I just realized Heidi read the very first poem, which the Pig King recited when he was born. And this is the final pantun in the book, in the original book. And this pantun is like my motto in life. I've decided. Puan bertanjak bunga melati, diampu pula dengan kain. Bukan aku takut akan mati. Sesalku tidak puas bermain. Okay, thank you very much. Have a good weekend.